Welcome back to Sofubi Sit Down. Today we're going to take a look at a figure from the company Gigabrain. Doing research for this episode was pretty quick because there's really nothing about this company to be found online. Club Tokyo doesn't really have much of anything on them, and my usual crew of experts really didn't have much to say about them either. Apparently they started in 2000, based out of Tokyo, and they produced robot character toys before getting into kaiju figures. So thanks to Kaiju Nomura for supplying that little bit of info. Having said that, let's take a seat and look at the company Gigabrain. Hey, all right. Let's take a seat and talk a little bit about Gigabrain. Gigabrain, to me, means two things: amazing sculpts and a seemingly unlimited and never-ending amount of variants of those sculpts. As for the Toho Kaiju, they've done three different Godzillas. They've done a 1962, a 1964, and a 1965. They've done a 72 Gigan. They've done a Showa Hedorah. They've done, in my opinion, the best Showa King Ghidorah that money can buy. They've done a Jet Jaguar, and they did a Monster X because why not? And then a few years ago, some low-res photographs of a Godzilla 95 they were supposedly working on started circulating online. Nothing ever came of that, unfortunately, because I really would like to see some new sculpts by this company. But they do seem pretty content to just release a never-ending supply of repaints of their current figures. To be fair, most of which are painted beautifully and are stunning, so that's fine if that's what they want to do. If you're interested in looking at that and seeing that I am not exaggerating, check out Club Tokyo. They have a whole Gigabrain section broken down by figure, and there are, like I said, tons and tons and tons of variants of these figures. So that's that. So today, we're going to take a look at this guy, Jet Jaguar, or as I affectionately call him, Jet Jaguar, by Gigabrain. He first appeared in the underappreciated, in my opinion, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, released in 1973. If you've only ever seen the American version of that, or the Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode, you actually really should check out the Japanese version. It's far from perfect, but it's really fun, colorful, campy little movie. Jet Jaguar was the result of a contest that Toho had for school-aged kids in 1972 to design a monster or a robot for a Godzilla movie, and the winner of the contest was a robot named Red Aron, which Toho then morphed into Jet Jaguar. This version here is the gray with gold eyes variant, which was released in 2007. And as I said, Gigabrain just goes nuts with the variants, so check out Club Tokyo if you want to see all the other different ones. But this is one we're going to take a look at, so let's get to it. And there he is. Gigabrain, Jet Jaguar. Let's take a look at my man's grill. And he definitely does have a grill, right? He's Jet Jaguar. So the figure is sculpted fully in this gray plastic. So all that flat gray is the plastic. So the head sculpt, we've got his little antennas there that pop out in the movie so he can fly around. The eyes are painted a nice gold. The grill, as we said, is nicely detailed. A few little details there on his head. I realized in my Anger's video that I didn't go over articulation. I mean, really, these figures aren't super articulated generally anyway. This guy is, though, so we'll do and we'll just do articulation, I guess, going forward with these figures. I mean, they're not meant to really put in like action poses or anything. They're sort of static figures. This guy's got some fun stuff. So his head does swivel back and forth. He's got some really nice sculpted details on the back of his head there, which is cool. He's got his the blue paint here for his dicky, which covers the Adam's apple the size of a Volkswagen. If you know, you know. Nice red here on the upper chest, well painted, very well done, very pretty. Articulation on the arms, shoulder pads are yellow, which is cool. So the arms are interestingly articulated. You've got a full 360. You've got a cut joint at the shoulder, which swivels that way. And then he's also got a cut joint at the bicep, which swivels that way. And his wrist completely swivels. So you can get him, you know, doing some different things. You can have him flying like this. You can have him doing this. You can have him punch, 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 which is what Jet Jaguar does, right? Yeah, man. All right, belly painted yellow. Some more really nice red. A little bit of blue on his biceps there, which is cool. You've got this, I don't know, his little symbol, I suppose, there on his abdomen area. Also well sculpted here on the arms. I always felt like these looked like little Michelin Man details there. His jock is not made of steel. It is made of soft plastic. There he is from the back. His legs are interestingly articulated. They don't really kick straight out. They sort of do that. So that's kind of a weird way to go, but that's what they do. He has no knee bend, but he does have a knee swivel. He does have a foot swivel. And again, you've got yellow paint on the knee, you've got the gray plastic, you've got the blue, you've got some nice blue details on his shoe there. So that looks quite nice. This is a really good figure. He's really fun to just sort of pose and play with. Like I said, a lot of these aren't meant to do fun poses or things with, but this guy you can get in some pretty cool positions. He's got a waist swivel, so you can have him, you know, swinging a fist. So he's fun. He's a good one. He's a great figure to have on a shelf. Like all the Gigabrain stuff, it is extremely well sculpted, really well done. Their figures are really great. I'll go through all the Gigabrains here as we go on, especially the King Ghidorah. That one's going to be a bit of a logistical nightmare to get reviewed in this space that I have here, but we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's him in a nutshell. And should we compare him with some stuff? I guess that's what we should do, right? So let's do that. All right, comparison time. Before we do that, I do like to kind of try to reminisce where I got my figures, if at all possible. This guy I actually got from my buddy Tim at my very first G-Fest way back in 2014. And Tim was getting ready to start law school. He has since graduated and become a lawyer. But he was selling off his entire collection. So well before G-Fest, I was like, put all your Gigabrain stuff aside. I want all that stuff. So he had this guy. He had the Gigan, which I still have. He had the Godzilla 62 and 64, both of which I sold and swapped out for different versions. And he also had the King Ghidorah, which I will never part with. It's one of the hardest to find ones. We'll review that guy at some point. I have 3 of the King Ghidorahs. The one that I got from Tim, I'll never get rid of. But yeah, that's where I got this guy from Tim at my very first ever G-Fest. So let's do some comparisons. Let's compare him first. We have the Marmot Vinyl Paradise Jet Jaguar. So we can see there's a bit of a size discrepancy there. He's a big boy, this Marmot. He's a goofy one, but you can see the difference there. And those two. What else do we got? We'll do the other Marmot. We got a Marmot Power Baby, Jet Jaguar, which, if you remember from last week, we did the Power Baby Anguirus. This is the Power Baby JJ. So that's how they stack up. We have the Bandai 6-inch. I don't have the larger scale one, but there's the Bandai. So he's bigger than that. We have the X Plus, the not Rick version. Sadly, there's a sad tale there that I'll tell someday if I ever review this guy. But yeah, there's the X Plus. Obviously, X Plus is going for straight movie accuracy, whereas this is not going for straight movie accuracy. And then here we have a Bullmark. This is the Bullmark 1973. This figure's a year older than me. But yeah, well, I would like to do a whole vintage episode. I think I have a few guests lined up for that. We'll do that someday. But yeah, so there you go. That is the Bullmark 1973 Jet Jaguar. And that's it for my Jet Jaguars. We can compare it to some other stuff. Here we have the Gigabrain. They never did a Godzilla to go with him, but for his movie, I should say, for the Megalon. But they did do a few, like we said. Here's the 65, so they scale really nice, right? Yeah, they look good together. And then as far as his co-stars, we do have the Gigabrain Gigan, which is a gorgeous figure. So you can see how they go together. And then, unfortunately, Gigabrain never did a Megalon, although I think they would probably knock that out of the park if they did. But we do have a Marmot Megalon. So there's that together. So that's cool. I mean, I don't mix and match my manufacturers. I keep everything. I keep my Marmots with my Marmots and so on. But if you wanted to do a scene, I think that would look really good together. That would definitely be the Jet Jaguar figure that I would use if I was going to do a movie scene with these guys. So that's those. And I guess last but not least, there's a can of hams. So there you go. You can see how he scales with that as well. And having said that, that's him. That is the Gigabrain Jet Jaguar. Like I said, he is a great figure to have on your shelf. I really dig this guy. If you're looking for a stylized Jet Jaguar, you cannot go wrong with going with the Gigabrain. There is a wide array of different paint schemes and colors for this guy, so I'm sure you'll find something if you want him to be more outlandish than the movie version. I'm sure that will not be a problem. If you wanted him to be translucent, I'm sure that would not be a problem. There are a ton of them. So, and I don't think they're super hard to find. I don't know the cost on them, but I don't think they're anything too outrageous. So yeah, that's him. Hope you enjoyed watching. I did enjoy talking about him. Till then, we will see you next time. Don't eat sushi from a pail.